I believe in you, me, you, me, you, me, you, me, yeah. I believe in you, me, you, me, you, me, you, me, yeah. Let's stay here for a lifetime underneath the moonlight, 'cause I don't want us to go. No, I don't want us to go. Yeah, you could be my lifeline, you could be my sunshine in a world so full of pain. Can you make it go away? Used to be so sad that love was lost, but now it's here to stay. Yeah, I used to be uncomfortable, but look at me today. Never thought I'd find someone like you, someone to show the way. But now I know you're the answer to my prayer. You and me must be right. Something's in the air, I can feel it now. You and me must do something right. We can't get enough of us. You and me every night, aiming for the stars with the love so bright. You and me must do something right. Baby, I believe in us. I believe in you and me, you and me, you and me, you and me, yeah. I believe in you and me, you and me, you and me, you and me, yeah. I'm sorry for the burden, sorry I was hurting, but my scars are almost healed. Yeah, my scars are almost healed. Yeah, I'm feeling like a child now. Everything's alright now, and it's all because of you. You made the flower in me bloom. Used to be afraid of everything, but now there's no more fear. Yeah, I used to let nobody in and hide my face with tears. Always thought of you as someone who can love someone like me, but I was wrong. Baby, now I believe. You and me must be right. Something's in the air, I can feel it now. You and me must do something right. We can't get enough of us. You and me every night, aiming for the stars with the love so bright. You and me must do something right. Baby, I believe in us. I believe in you and me, you and me, you and me, you and me, yeah. I believe in you and me, you and me, you and me, you and me, yeah. You and me must be right. Something's in the air, I can feel it now. You and me must do something right. We can't get enough of us. You and me every night, aiming for the stars with the love so bright. You and me must do something right. Baby, I believe in us. I believe in you and me, you and me, you and me, you and me, yeah. I believe in you and me, you and me, you and me, you and me, yeah.
Hey, hey, mm, 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 mm. Hello, beautiful people. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Welcome to the Danea Show. I am Danielle Danea, aka Danny Danea, and I've got a lot to say. So let's get into it. Kim Kardashian unnecessarily spills tea about ex-husband Kris Humphries. Let's talk about it. So before we get into these details, I want to give you guys a little backstory on Kim Kardashian and Kris Humphries, who they are, how long they were married prior to, this coming out. recently, all this backstory stuff to it, right? If you've been living under a rock and don't know who Kim Kardashian is or why she's been famous, I'm going to break all that down before we get into the story. I'm also going to show you guys the video that was posted most recently about this, where she spilled this unnecessary tea later. But first things first, I'm going to get into the backstory. So Kim Kardashian, if you didn't know, again, if you're living under a rock, if you don't know who she is, Kim Kardashian is an American media star, and she is famously known, primarily known for this sex tape that got leaked with her ex-boyfriend, Ray J, before Kris Humphries. Kris Humphries is her ex-husband. Ray J was a guy she was dating at the time where the sex tape got released. She got a whole bunch of fame and then later got fame for her show, Keeping Up with the Kardashians, right? Coincidentally is the show she actually revealed this information. Well, now it's the Kardashians instead of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. You know, they changed it. It's so funny. It was a whole thing. They were like, oh, we're ending the Keeping the Kardashians show just to now have a show called the Kardashians. Everybody was like, what the heck? But anyway, so yeah, there's that. And then there's Kris Humphries, right? And Kris Humphries is a former basketball player in the NBA. He was currently playing when they were dating and married to Kim Kardashian. And Kris and Kim started dating 6 months prior to their engagement, which was in May 2011, right? And then, obviously, like I said, they got engaged. It was a whole big thing. And then the wedding happened on August 20th, 2011. And then Kim filed for divorce in October 2011. So they were married a very, very short time. Only 72 days, guys. They were married. It was insane. Everybody was commenting about it. It was a whole thing. But guys, it is now 2025. It was just like, Kim, what was the purpose of you now going on the show talking about your ex and this ring? And mind you, I watched this clip. Obviously, it was just a short little clip of an hour long episode. But it was just like, what was the point to even throw that little jab in there, you know, talking about, you'll see in the video, generally she was talking about, you know, rings she's had. And she wondered what the shape or style of the ring would look like in her next relationship. Because Kim has been married 3 times, guys. But it was just like, yo, this is, again, there was no reason to bring him up. He doesn't speak about you. You have moved on. You were in a whole other relationship with Kanye after him. You know, it was just like, it was unnecessary. Like I said in the title, it was just so unnecessary. But, you know, I was somebody who used to watch Keeping Up with Kardashians heavily. Not that I haven't seen one full episode of the new Kardashians, but I used to watch the Keeping Up with Kardashians show, actually around the time that Kris Humphries was on the show. So, not around, was watching it when it was around. So, when he was around. So, yeah, I've seen Kim's behavior, her mannerisms. So, again, I'm not surprised. But it's just like, dang, Kim, you're now 40-something years old. Like, it's time to grow up. It's really, really time to grow up. This was brought up, again, unprovoked. I was really irritated. Like I said, it's been dead and gone for years. That marriage is dead and gone. Your marriage to Kanye was dead and gone. So again, it was just very weird. Again, when I watched the show, it was more so I watched it for Courtney. Courtney was one of my favorites. She's also, you know, her birthday's around mine. I don't believe in zodiacs that much, but she has the same kind of energy like an Aries gives off. I was born April 15th. I'm an Aries. So it was what for her. I was watching it, and her and her then boyfriend Scott Disick, they were like the most interesting in the show, which is crazy because Kim actually calls Courtney the least interesting. But anyway, there was an episode where where Kim gets pushed in the water by her boyfriend Kris Humphries at the time in 2011, or engaged around this time, around 2011, right? She gets pushed in the water by Kris, right? And she has these diamond earrings in, and since she lands on her side, her diamond earring falls off, and Kim gets so bent out of shape. This is a viral incident. I don't know if you haven't seen it. She gets so bent out of shape. She's crying, and the whole family, it's a whole family vacation trip. So her mom, Courtney, everybody's there. Young Kylie is there. And so Courtney asked what's going on, because you know, Kim told her mother, they're over here trying to calm her down. And then Courtney's like, what's going on? And then Kim was like, my diamond earring fell in the ocean. And Courtney famously said, she's like, Kim, there's people that are dying. And she's carrying her baby and she just has this look of complete disgust on her face. It's so funny because it's so relatable. It's like, oh, you're so bent out of shape about this earring that you could easily replace. You have insurance on. It's like, calm down, Kim. And the fact that Kylie, at the time super young, finds the diamond earring in the ocean. They're in, like, I don't know what country it is, but the water is super clear. And when Kylie gives the earring to Kim, she's like, Kim's like, how did you find it? She was like, it's so big and it was just sitting right there. I just saw it, but anyway, my point is Kim has had a history of just being unnecessary when it comes to her reactions and emotions. So again, not that much surprise. Right. And like I said, I watched it during the relationship, Kim and Kris's relationship, and I just noticed that there was a lot of disrespect coming from Kim, none from Kris's side. Kris was super young. She was 30 at the time. Kim was 30 at the time. When she was dating and engaged to him and married to him. And 21, 29, 30, and he was in his late 20s. He wasn't 30 yet. I think it was late 20s more so. But he's super green, super caring. He's super, just entered into wealth. I don't think he came from wealth. So everything was all new to him, and this relationship was very new. But he was in love with that girl. He was super, super in love. So when men are super, super in love with women, they tend to look past a lot of disrespect. But it's just dang. And if I recall correctly, he even had a friend that, was very close to him. You could tell. And he was even telling Kris, like, you got to be mindful, be careful. Because he probably saw signs in Kim that clearly were there when I was watching it on TV that weren't the best sign. There were some red flags. And he was just trying to warn him or avoid him getting a heartbreak. And, Kris is in love. You can't tell a man that's in love anything. So I just want people to be mindful of that too, because a lot of people, like I said, weren't really watching the show like I was. I was watching it religiously. They just saw bits and pieces of it where I was watching the whole thing, and it was really messed up the way she treated him. So this is just another line of disrespect on top of all the disrespect from years ago now happening today, and I just had to talk about it because it's enough is enough. Men get disrespected enough, and I'm over it. But before I get into my review of this video, I want to show you guys the actual video. So here it is, guys. I found it on TMZ. I hate this title. It says Kim Kardashian, Kris Humphries was cheap with engagement ring. Oh my gosh. But these sites are meant to be messy. I'll give you my take on that later. But TMZ had the best video. There were no ads and stuff. So I was like, I'm going to show it on TMZ. But here it is, guys.
I wonder what my next ring shape will be. And my last and final hurrah. Number one was a cushion cut, 14 karat. I still have it. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. And then number two, you bought from Lorraine.
Yeah, which I had to give to Kris Humphries.
In the divorce. Yeah.
Wait, Lorraine, my Kris Humphries ring was an emerald cut, right? How many carats? 18?
About 18 with the sides.
Did you keep it?
I didn't keep that. I was pregnant with North, still married to him. And in order to divorce him, he said I had to give him the ring in my divorce.
Jesus.
That she bought,
that I bought.
Wow.
Yeah.
Savage.
She bought it.
Contributed a fifth.
You know what? Best getting rid of what you could have done. Was
I know,
worth
but
every
I would have
dollar.
loved a collection.
Ooh. So much to unpack there. But let's start with the beginning. So, sorry to me, I'm trying to go to my notes where it started. So first, Kim says in this episode that I wonder what the next ring shape will be in my next relationship. Which, again, like, who asks these types of questions? Like, only Kim, right? And then she starts to describe the first ring, right? That she, I think, Khloe clarified that it was actually Kris Jenner's, her mom's ring that I think she gave to her ex, her first ex. His name was, I researched him, his name was Damon Thomas. And nothing to say to that. It was just glossed over, irrelevant. She didn't go into deep detail because most people don't even know who he is. I didn't know she was married 3 times. I thought it was literally Kris Humphries and then Kanye. I knew she was in a bunch of relationships with people, but as far as marriage, I only knew about those 2. So this guy, Damon Thomas, was news to me. But, her brushing over kind of him like that it's very telling just in that instance, because it was like, oh, his name isn't big, or wasn't big at the time and still isn't big. So why even, go into detail about all that, whatever. And then it was problematic already from that first question. But then she goes on to describe Stecker ring, right? And Khloe initially says it. She says that the ring she got from Lorraine, which I guess is a jeweler, right? That she bought the ring directly from Lorraine. And Kim says that she had to give it back to Kris in the divorce. Now, mind you, people don't know this, but a lot of people don't know this. When Kim Kardashian started dating Kanye West, she was still married to Kris Humphries, right? Even though they were separated, they were still legally married, right? So that just gives some context to where maybe Kris Humphries' mind was at when this all happened. And also, she mentioned this ring was 18 carats and, it's a big ring. And said she had to pay for it. But it's like so much can be said without being said. And Kim Kardashian knows how to relay certain details without revealing all the details to make her seem like a victim or, make her seem right in a situation and make the other person seem wrong. And it's just messy and messed up. And, maybe, like, anybody sit back? Everybody was hounding, Kris Humphries. Give me back in the comments. There's people, yes men around Kim Kardashian. She always has yes people around her. No one to challenge her except her kids. Right? North, if you know anything, North is very vocal about her opinion, and kids check you. Kids humble you. But in this instance, it's all yes men around her saying, oh yeah, I think one of the guys said, how dare he, or something like that. Anyway. It's just like, no, well, maybe Kris got a ring for Kim, but it wasn't big enough for her. And Kris was like, okay, well, if you want a bigger ring, then you can pay for it. But this is the ring I want to give you. And I don't get why that's the main focus. Shouldn't our love be enough? Like, why are you so fixated on how big the ring is? That could have been it. Or Kim could be actually telling the truth. I'm not going to knock it and be like, oh, Kris wanted her to get her a ring. He couldn't afford it and was like, hey, can you pay for this for me? But again, looking back at the show and how he carries himself now, again, doesn't speak a word about Kim Kardashian at all. Nothing negative, nothing positive, just gone. I know people were saying in Shade Room's comments, shady place ever, that they didn't even know he was still alive. Like he fell to face the earth. Where has he even been? He's been that mute, living his own life. He has moved on, like he's good. So the fact that you're even bringing this up when it doesn't really, like, who cares that you had to get the ring back? It ain't no money to you now. It's not important to you now. Like, again, just extra petty, extra unnecessary. And it just speaks to, it's funny, like, it felt like Kim was trying to, like downplay his character or, like, show, like, how greedy he was and how unnecessarily selfish he was. But I think this video told more about Kim's character than his. Like, I was reading, like I said, past the words she was saying. I was actually hearing, the delusion in her voice when she was speaking. There was nothing sincere about what she said. And that's why people stopped writing the show. Again, people thought like, oh, this is really giving, like, she needed a storyline, bringing up this stuff years ago, because people stopped watching it. Because if you look at Keeping Up with the Kardashians, super early episodes to now, like, it's night and day. It was, like, entertaining. It was raw. It was funny. Khloe was unfiltered. You know, like I said, Courtney was unfiltered. Khloe is our other sister that's also in this video. Courtney's the one I like that I mentioned earlier. And then Scott was unfiltered as well. It was very nice, raw, new. And back when Bruce was a man, Bruce Jenner, it was good. It was toxic, but it was like you could relate to a lot of things going on. But now they're unrelatable. The things they say feel very scripted. There's an ulterior motive behind everything that's done. And it's just like, oh, we're so over it. And I bet you that's why they changed the name from Keeping Up the Kardashians to Just the Kardashian, because there's nothing to keep up with anymore. Like, no one cares to keep up anymore. Now you got to call it the Kardashians because people don't want to follow you anymore. People are not interested anymore. But y'all are so desperate for fame and so desperate for attention. Y'all need to carry this on. Y'all could have just deaded it and been like, okay, it's done. The viewers are dropping. Da, da, da. I have my business. Let me focus on that. I have kids to raise. Let me focus on that. But no, you had to have this show and go on the show and now be extra messy, extra petty, talking about a ring that you had to give back that you didn't really even want in the first place. You say at the end, you just wanted to have a collection. What the heck is that? Collection of rings of failed marriages of men who don't want you? That's what it looks like to other people. It's like, you think this makes you look cute that you had a big old ring that you had to give back and he didn't want you to keep it? You know, it makes you look like not people. Nobody wants to hang out with you. No one wants to be around you. Nobody wants you to keep gifts, even that you bought. He doesn't even want you to have a gift that he paid 1/5 of, you claim, because you're that messed up of a person. That's what it looks like to anybody with a logical mind sitting back and like, ugh, Kim, you don't realize you lost again. But people that are so fixated on the shiny things like she is, think she's winning because she's a billionaire. You know, she has the body. She has the kids of Kanye. Beautiful kids, 4 of them. It's like, no. She's miserable. And that's why she's saying she's looking for her next relationship, because she is lonely and miserable. And she hates that people do not want to be around her. Regardless of, the only people that want to be around her are yes people. Who wants to be constantly surrounded by people that are just like, okay, yeah, you're right, and have nothing of substance to say? For years, that gets boring. Unless you're Kim Kardashian, who, believes the world revolves around herself and, has to have yes man because she knows she's an effed up person, so she has to tell people she's a good person to make her feel better about herself. But it wears out eventually. She knows that. Thinking she's going to get another relationship better than Kanye, I don't know what's going to happen. Because that man, whoever he is going to know in the back of his head, he has to deal with Kanye because of the kids. So, very delusional conversation, very detrimental to young girls watching her. The few people that still watch this show. But the people also, they just watch this short little clip. I was just like, this woman, and to even, I guess, extra petty to even clarify that he only paid 1/5, like making him look cheap. It's just like, I don't know, but it's also like she had to throw that detail in there because maybe she just threw that detail in there to make him maybe try to make him feel good about himself, because Khloe initially said that she paid for the whole ring. And then she kind of said she did pay for the whole ring. She was like, oh, and then she was like, oh, no, that's not entirely true. He only paid 1/5. Either way, unnecessary. There's no other word to describe it. This woman is draining for me. So I could only imagine how it would be in a relationship with a man with her. Like, oh my goodness, having these shallow conversations. There's a viral video of Kanye and Kim when they were together, and she talks about they're doing an interview for Vogue or something like that, some major magazine, and they're trying to understand how the life is in their home. And Kim says, we have a jacuzzi, but I never went in our jacuzzi. And then Kanye's like, oh my God, can you believe we don't have a jacuzzi? Or yeah, she said we don't have a jacuzzi in our home. And Kanye is just like, oh my God, because it was like a joke. He was making a joke out of what she was saying because it's not a big deal. No one is flipping out whether you have a jacuzzi or not. And you over here making it a point of what's the word? It's just a main point in the conversation, and no one cares. Same with this conversation. Like, no one cares. So many people were commenting like, oh my gosh, now I can sleep better at night knowing that Kris Humphries only spent 1/5 of the ring. Oh my gosh, we were all wanting to know. Nobody gives a F, Kim. Shut the F up. It's like she doesn't know when to shut up. It's ridiculous. You're too grown to not know when to shut up now. You should have known. You should have known being with Kanye when to shut up. Or maybe you did when you were with him, but now you're a lost puppy without him. And it's just like, oh, get it together. Get it together. Oh my gosh. And Khloe's just disgusting me just as much as Kim did. You know, I hate the new Khloe. Ever since she got all this surgery, trying to look like her sister, she got the BBL. Didn't get her boobs done, though. She's been just like them. Like, we really, like, if anybody who remembers the earlier episode, we loved Khloe because she was just, herself. She was the bigger sister. People thought, people empathized with her because, it's hard to be super skinny. Even though Kim wasn't ever super skinny, she was like curvy in the right places, whereas Khloe was kind of thick everywhere. And then she was super taller than everybody, and everybody thought, she wasn't really a Kardashian because she didn't look like the rest. Mind you, I think that's very true. But beside the point, she was real when it came to how she thought. I think she was extra mean. Now looking back at it, she was very rude sometimes, but at least she was her. Now she's just another yes man in this video. Even the jeweler, Lorraine, saying, you know what, at least, you giving back the ring, that was just good riddance. Like, it is what it is. Like, it's like, where's your mind? I hate looking at robots just functioning, saying what they think they gotta say, what they think is cute to say, other than what they should say, what a decent person would say, Because she doesn't know. Lorraine, I don't know if she knows for real, but she probably doesn't know the ins and out that whole situation. She only knows what Kim told her. So instead of saying maybe it was a good thing, maybe it wasn't, kind of speculating, like clarifying that she doesn't really know, but it is what it is, just move on. And she makes a bold statement saying, it's good that you got rid of the ring. It doesn't even matter. You ain't need that ring back. Girl, you don't find your own. Bye to him. Boy, bye. Basically, is what she said. And then to Kim to follow up and say, well, I wanted a collection. I'm dying. I'm not that desperate to see, but I wonder what was said after that. It's funny how the clips ends right when she says, I would have wanted a collection. I wonder what they would have said after that. I'm really curious. But it was probably just some more yes men-ish. But I know if I was in that situation and I heard that, I'd be like, collection for what? And like I said, a collection of failed marriages, a collection of failed relationships. Do you want keepsakes from all your failed relationship? Why don't you want the stuff back that you've had from Reggie Bush or Ray J? Or do you? I don't know. What is that doing for you? Like inside, what does that really do for you, Kim? Does it boost your ego somehow? I don't know how. Something you can cuddle with because you can't cuddle with an actual person that wants to desire you and love you. Like, I'm so confused. I'm so confused. Kim. Oh, man. Kim did Kris so dirty. She really did. And the fact that he's like I said, doesn't speak about her. He doesn't speak about her at all. They talk about this Kardashian curse these men get after they leave relationships, or even maybe so if they're still in one, they got the Kardashian curse. But I don't think the worst thing that he got from this, that Kris Humphries got from this, is this conversation that I've seen so far, or this interview of her saying what she said. He was like, I'm not going to be a part of this messed up curse that people say. And people say it because they look at the exes of everyone, all the sisters, not just the Kardashians, you know. The ex of Khloe Kardashian, Lamar Odom, messed up, drugs, addiction, all that. Then the another ex of Khloe, there's Tristan Thompson, who cheated on Khloe multiple times. And there's Scott Disick, where he's not really struggling, I would say. He just, you know, started dating super young girls. People were looking at that sideways, thinking like, oh yeah, he's trying to fulfill, you know, his loneliness with naive women. He really wants Courtney back, all that. So I love that Kris was like, no, I'm just going to exit quietly. We're not going to do interviews. I'm not going to speak badly about this woman. I'm going to find my happiness someplace else because that doesn't make me happy. And that's what he did. But gosh, man, dealing with Kim and seeing stuff like this, like, again, I mentioned this in my other video. Every good guy, every bad guy that's seen as a bad guy went through ish like this. And even though Kris decided not to become a Future after being a Russell, if you step back and look at what he went through, you understand if he had turned into a Future. Because it's just effed up. It's just effed up what men have to deal with when it comes to women. 14 years later, you're bringing up my name for what? You're bringing up me asking for a ring back that you really didn't want, other than to hang it up on your wall for show. It's like, what has he done? And you can sit back and be like, well, Kris Humphries could have done some stuff in the background too that we don't know about. Well, knowing Kim, if it was that messed up, we would have found out about it. If it was that messed up, we would have talked. It's so funny. There was an interview I remember seeing that Kim was saying that, you know, she doesn't speak badly about Kanye West. You know, obviously this is after their divorce. She doesn't speak badly about him to the kids because she doesn't want to taint their image of him. I'm like, if he was that bad, she would say something. And in the back of her mind, guys, she knows he wasn't that bad. That's why she's not going to say anything. But it's like people give her, you know, a battery in their back when they see Kanye's rants and all this other stuff. So he must have been a terrible father. They connect that to him being, you know, crazy at home. And it's just like, no. If you watch the episodes again, Kanye was on the episodes early on in their relationship. He was a great father. The kids always want to be around him. They still do. So women mess up men every day. And it's women like this. Like I said it to my boyfriend the other day. I was like, I hate that this woman even got the chance to be married to somebody like Kanye because she doesn't deserve him. She didn't deserve a Kanye. She didn't deserve a Kris Humphries. And it makes me mad the most because it's like good women that are out there now have to struggle in dating because men have dealt with the Kims before they get to them, and they think their guard is up now because they don't want to go through that again. They can't go through it again. It's going to mess them up. It's going to break their heart. They're going to die inside if they don't die in real life. So now we got guys, you know, not wanting to pursue relationships with us at all because of that, the horrible things they went through with someone like Kim. And it hurts us. This woman had a whole sex tape put out. And again, you know, it was with her boyfriend. It wasn't like, you know, some raunchy-ish, nothing raunchy, super disturbing was done in it. But it's just like, you know, her mom knew what she was doing. She put out the tape, you know, knowing the type of traction and attention and money she could get from him. She basically exploited her daughter, but Kim was right there willing to do it. This type of woman gets wifed up by an NBA star. And I don't doubt that she has some very good skills when it comes to, getting and keeping a man. She does what she has to do. I remember she told a story even when she was with Kanye, a brand offered her $1 million or millions of dollars to do something, and Kanye was like, no, don't do that. And she was like, okay, I'm not going to do that just because you said to. And then Kanye gave her the $1 million. She knows how to play her role when it benefits her. But the moment something stops benefiting her, she dips. She gave it 72 days. She was like, no, I think I can do better. I talk about disrespect on the show that was happening during the time when Kris Humphries and Kim Kardashian was dating. There was a time I specifically now remember that, she was getting ready to get married to him. And there was a whole debate about, it was uncertainty on whether she would take his last name. And the fact that that was even a question is just mind-boggling to me. She was like, everybody knows me as Kim Kardashian, but if I say Kim Kardashian Humphries, people might not recognize, or I don't know what the reasoning was. It was just so stupid. But basically, I think it was like, her business. She was worrying about her brand. And it was just like, girl, you can still call yourself, like you can take his last name and still have your show and have your name, have your brand. I think she had a store at the time, maybe named after her, some fragrances named after her. You can still professionally be called Kim Kardashian, but still take the guy's last name. I mean, come on. Why is this even a question? Or have a real conversation about it. Don't come to the conversation against it from the jump, not willing to compromise, not willing to hear his point of view. I thought that was so disrespectful because I couldn't even imagine thinking about not taking my husband's last name. What? That's what you do. Even Candace Owens, her professional name is Candace Owens, but if you look her up on Wikipedia, it says Candace Owens Farmer, which is her husband's last name. It's you're that selfish that you're that all about you that you can't even have his name legally written on the end of yours. She's like, oh, then what's the point of even getting married? And that's why it only lasted 72 days. But, that type of disrespect, it just carried on through the relationship. And I think Kris was just like, enough is enough. But even she's the one that filed for divorce, not him. But eventually like I said, if he wouldn't have died in real life, he would have killed him on the inside. Like it killed Lamar Odom being with Khloe on the inside. Because he signed that contract. He thought it was for life, but nope. But I'm not going to lie, Lamar had his struggles, clearly. But where did those struggles stem from? Is he completely at fault here? Who knows? I would have to argue. I don't think it's all his fault. Because Lamar Odom, again, if you watch the earlier seasons, great guy. Always went the extra mile for Khloe. But it was just like a turning point. All of a sudden, something flipped, something snapped. And it was probably years of dealing with constant disrespect, constant feeling neglected, constant, feeling isolated. And then he was just like, oh, well, I'm going to turn to something that will make me feel numb. And that was the drugs. So going back to the story, Kim said, what the heck? Not everything needs to be said. I know you're a reality TV star, but you know how to tell people information and say things without giving them the whole story, giving them just enough where they feel like they know a lot, but don't. You're just choosing not to. And again, just selfish. Just selfish. Think you're going to gain something out of this, gain, respect or sympathy, empathy. It's just no, we see through your BS. Your show has been running long enough. We know who you are. And the ones who don't know, I'm going to tell you who Kim Kardashian is. She's a selfish, narcissistic, bitch. She is. She's great at business. Great at business. Got to give her that. When it comes to who she is as an individual, I wouldn't want to be around her for 2 seconds. Because that type of behavior is contagious, and I do not want to catch it. This next relationship she thinks she's getting, it's going to be interesting to see who it's with. Because you already saw every guy she's been connected to after Kanye has been a flop. Pete Davidson, flop. I think Odell Beckham, I won't say he's a flop, but he's not no Kanye. And women, in their minds, they either get the same or better. And none of these guys are the same or better. And the guys that are out there that are better, they're not going to want you, Kim. Not speaking like this. Not with your history. So humble yourself. Humble yourself, Kim. Yes, you are Kim Kardashian, but girl, you're Asian, and people know who you've been. And they see who you are now. And we're not with the ish anymore. It was cute starting out. You're 29. You know, I think your show kind of actually started when you were like my age, 27, maybe. And now you're 40, 42, 43. It's gotten old. Best bet for you is keep raising your kids. Continue your Skims brand. I love it. Continue that. Focus on you. Focus on those kids. And stop talking negatively about people that don't give a F about you. That actually were a benefit in your life, were a blessing from God that you didn't deserve. So it's not doing anything beneficial for you or your career. And like I said, it's not going to bring you the man you would want. A lot of men want Kim Kardashian. She can get a husband tomorrow, but is it the man she wants? Is it the man she's going to respect? Is it the man she wants to marry and be with long term? Or for the rest of her life? She says this is the fourth relationship, last relationship, she said in the video, right? A guy who's going to deal with her long term is not going to deal with this type of... She's not going to. He's going to be like, cancel the show. Kardashian is done. Get with my program or get lost. That's the type of energy a man equal to Kanye or above is going to be with her for. Because Kanye tried that. We talked about it. Kanye wanted Kim to get with her program, his program, and move out of LA, raise their family, bought all this land. She was like, no, I want to text you in LA. Done. It's not going to work. Women are naturally selfish, but this is to another extreme. I just saw today, I was scrolling through posts, I saw that Kim, it's crazy, Kim requested a Bible verse, or the whole Bible from a Bible that was inscripted, had an inscription from her father, her late father, Robert Kardashian, that he gave to, what's his name? O.J. Simpson. And O.J. Simpson was like, no, I'm not giving that to you. He gave it to me. I know he's dead. I lost a friend. My condolences. It's been years, but I get it. Losing a father is the most tragic thing, especially for a woman. But no, I'm not just giving this back to you. Are you freaking crazy? Again, selfishness. And everybody was like, that's her dad's inscripted. No, understand this. Someone broke it down in the comments so great. That's like your mom giving a gift to her best friend, and then your mom dying, and then you saying, oh, to the best friend, oh, can you get that back to me because my mom died? You know, no, you don't do that. You let that friend have it. There's no Indian giving over that. You can't do that. Again, selfishness is all about her. It's not how O.J. Simpson may feel about that. And when they're told no, it's like, oh, it's disrespectful. No, people can say no, Kim. I know you're so used to having yes people around you. That it doesn't work like that. And I'm saying no to this. Stop being an asshole. No, we do not accept this type of behavior from you. This is ridiculous. You're too grown. You're too smart to be saying dumb-ish. So people that think, Kim Kardashian is cute don't think, much of the things she says, or maybe think it's all for show. I'm telling you, people can only play a role for so long. And we all know Kim isn't the best actress. This is who she is. Again, some stuff, I full-heartedly believe, this news keep the Kardashian show, there's things that are scripted, but there's truth in her character. And the stuff she said, even the stuff that's written for her to say. How she goes about it, her mannerisms, how she's laughing at it, how she responds to things that other people say. It's all very telling. You got to pay attention. Because they want you to think it's all fun and games or not real and other stuff. No, it's very true. It's very true. And it's ugly. And that's all I gotta say about that. All right, guys, please like this video if you like this video. Please comment always. I love to hear you guys' opinions, and subscribe if you haven't already, and turn that notification bell on so you don't miss an episode. And I will see you guys on the next one. Okay, have a great weekend.
Aquel día el instinto nos decía que esa noche juntico no quería, que las ganas bebé nos ganaría, pero no fue así. Vamos lento, ya, que si nos apuramos no disfrutamos del momento, ya, y lo vamos a arruinar. Dale lento, ya, dile a tus amigas que hoy no vas para afuera, que estás en la escuela y vamos a jugar. Ella sabe que quiero a mi mamacita. Ella también quiere que seamos felices. Ella, la que se apresura a la vueltica. Ella es sin timidez. Como la ves no le importa dónde y cuándo. Pero nada no he hecho, no soy el que la mando. Nunca lo seré, su carácter no es de niña, que la puede controlar cualquiera. Y me encanta, yo lo sé, independiente, vamos lento y verás, y me encanta, yo lo sé, independiente, vamos lento y verás, vamos lento, ya, que si nos apuramos no disfrutamos del momento, ya, y lo vamos a arruinar. Dale lento, yeah, dile a tus amigas que hoy no vas para afuera, que estás en la escuela y vamos. Los 7 días de la semana te doy de mañana, mi consejo sabes que no es, te doy el desquite, que me quites todas esas ganas que te tengo muerto. Todo el mundo sabe que tú y yo somos más que panas, pero nos vamos lento, que el que se apura no llega a nada, no llega a nada, nada. Y me encanta, yo lo sé, independiente, bebé, vamos lento y verás, y me encanta, yo lo sé, independiente, bebé, vamos lento y verás, vamos lento, ya, que si nos apura